Hi, my name is Jackie and welcome back to my channel. It is already the middle of October, which means this video is coming to you late as usual. This is my September empties video, but before we get into that, as usual, I just want to share with you what I'm drinking today in my Oklahoma Nothing Tips Like a Cow mug. I am drinking apple cider from DAVIDsTEA, and this tea is perfect for the weather that's going on right now because let me tell you, autumn is finally here. So this has apple pomace, which I have no idea what that is, but I notice it in some of DAVIDsTEA's teas, this pomace stuff. And then also sweet blackberry leaves, apple flavoring, which is artificial apple flavoring and concentrated apple juice, and then artificial vanilla and cream flavoring. And let me tell you, I am here for this tea. It smells sort of like the green apple Jolly Ranchers, but it tastes a lot better. I mean, don't get me wrong, green apple Jolly Ranchers are pretty great, but this doesn't taste, like artificial candy. It's sweet and tart and tastes like apples, and you can taste the creaminess in it, and it's just sort of like apple pie filling mixed with ice cream. Yes. This is an absolutely perfect tea for this time of year where it's like sunny outside and the sun is still warm, but there's a cold bite in the air. It just screams autumn. It's great. My season is finally here, and I get to wear my flannels now and not be weird about it, because I wear flannels all the time because I work from home and it gets kind of cold in my house, especially with Oliver's helmet, because we have to keep that AC cranked or else he gets overheated really easily. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking today. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started on the reason you came, which is to see my September empties. I have quite a few of them. I'm really impressed with myself. Go me. So the first tea that I polished off this month is this lemon rose hip infusion, and this is actually from a Trader Joe's tea sampler pack that I received many Christmases ago. This was not fresh. Not that tea necessarily goes bad, but it does sort of have an expiration date in terms of freshness, and this was definitely past its peak. Next, we have this strawberry spritz iced tea from Teebox Tea. This was a blend of black tea, dry strawberry, orange peel, mint, vanilla, and cinnamon. And I mean, it was such an, I liked this tea. I did. It was actually really good. But the ingredients were so strange to me, and the flavor of it was so strange. I mean, part of the reason why I liked it was because it was so different compared to anything that I've had before. It's called strawberry spritz, but I didn't really get strawberry flavor from it. I kind of thought it was more like lychee than anything, and then it had an earthy cinnamon flavor, but it wasn't spicy. Next, I tried out two different cinnamon rooibos, and originally I had made a video for these, kind of comparing the two, but that video is never going to see the light of day because it was just weird and rambly and awkward. I mean, all of my videos are weird and rambly and awkward, but this was a step above that, and I just couldn't get the editing quite right so that it was cohesive, and yeah. I just trashed it. But yeah, so anyways, I had a Ribose spiced chai from Davidson's Organics versus a Ribose spiced chai from DAVIDsTEA. So the Davidson's Organics had organic Ribose, organic cinnamon, organic cloves, and natural flavor. And then DAVIDsTEA was Ribose, apple, cinnamon, and then natural cinnamon flavoring. And if I had to choose between the two, I would go with Davidson's Organics Ribose Spiced Chai, which is kind of crazy because, this is a tea bag, but oh my god. I lived for this tea. The Ribose wasn't the most prominent flavor, it was actually the cinnamon. With a little bit of sugar, this kind of gave me some serious Harney and Sons hot cinnamon spice tea, but like caffeine-free and Ribose. Oh, this came in a Sip Spy box. I was obsessed with this. Like so good. And this was fine too, but definitely Ribose was the more prominent flavor. And then the cinnamon was just sort of like a earthy, barky kind of flavor. So you really have to kind of appreciate Ribose to appreciate the Ribose spice chai from, sorry, the cinnamon Ribose chai from DAVIDsTEA. The next tea that I finished off this month was this Apero Spritz. This was a blend of candied pineapple, apple, orange, beetroot, lemon, passion fruit, sunflower petals, pomegranate seeds, natural and artificial flavoring. And I mean, first and foremost, this was just such a fun tea to brew because that beetroot turned it hot pink. And I loved it. It was fun. It was fun to like eat with your eyes. But I actually also really liked this tea, probably more than many of the other, and I drank this ice, I guess I should clarify. I liked this more than many of the other sort of iced fruit tisanes that I brewed this summer. This was probably at the top of my list. I thought this was a pretty good interpretation of the cocktail that this is supposed to be. I don't know if it's actually called, I think it's like an apparel spritz. It'll pop up down here. I had one recently, specifically so that I could compare and contrast these, and I thought it was a pretty good interpretation of it. This was sweet, sort of tasted like mandarin orange, like tinned mandarin oranges with the syrup, maybe a little bit like fruit punch. This would be really fun with some sparkling water added to it, or maybe some Prosecco if you're into that kind of a fancy tea drinking. And you know, DAVIDsTEA somehow manages to make their cocktails sort of taste like there's alcohol in it, even though there's really not. I don't know how they do it. I mean, I noticed it in the Moscow Mule tea, and it was also in this one too. So, I mean, if you don't really like the flavor of cocktails or that flavor of alcohol, you may not like this, but you know, I do. Next we have a whole bunch of tea from Adagio Teas. First we have the Boy Who tea from Adagio Teas, and this is one of their fandom blends. And this is a blend of their pumpkin spice, caramel tea, and masala chai. And this was super good with some milk and sugar. And I actually did a review of this over at my blog, so I'll go ahead and link that in the description box below. If you're interested, go ahead and check it out. I also waxed poetic a little bit about Harry Potter and my love for the series because I'm a Potterhead. Next, I finished up a Dragon Fruit Dream, which I already made a video on, so if you have not watched that yet, definitely check it out. I really enjoyed this. This was a great summertime fruity tea. I would say out of all of the fruit teas, out of all of the fruit tisanes that I tried this summer, this was probably one of my favorites. This was an excellent cold brew. It was fruity and sweet. This had hibiscus in it, but it wasn't enough to like overpower the flavor. It was just a very well balanced fruity tea. I loved it. Next we had Pina Colada tea that I finished up in September. This was another tea that I did a review on already, so if you've not seen that, definitely check it out. I loved this tea because I loved how true to the cocktail it was. It was coconutty and pineapple-y and tropical-y, and this was great. This was another tea that I cold brewed, and it was just absolutely perfect. Sweet, tart, tropical. If you love pina coladas but don't really feel like drinking the alcohol, this is a fun alternative for you. Next, we have their wild strawberry iced tea, and to be honest, I wasn't really that impressed, which kind of bums me out because I think that this wild strawberry tea is kind of a fan favorite. To me, sometimes the tisanes that have hibiscus in it kind of just all start to taste the same, just sort of like this generic fruit flavor plus hibiscus. And that's how this tea tasted to me. Next, I had their Silent Sonata cold brew tea, and you know, I made such an effort to drink iced tea this summer, but most of the tea that I drank was like fruit tisanes, which they're fine. There were a couple that I really loved, and there were a couple that were just sort of eh. But at the end of the day, what I really prefer is tea, actual tea. So I really loved this. And I'm kind of starting to really dig this Ceylon tea. It's much brighter and citrusy compared to black teas from like Assam or Darjeeling, which I think are a little bit more malty. So this really was a perfect like summertime iced tea, especially with just like a little bit of sweetener in it. Sometimes when it comes to iced tea, the basics are best. So yeah, this is worth checking out. Perhaps the most surprising iced tea drinking experience I had came with the Adagio Teas wild blueberry tea. It's funny because I made a post on my blog not too long ago kind of ragging on Adagio Teas white blueberry. Somehow every year their stupid white blueberry ends up in my basket, ends up on my front porch. I don't understand. Like I don't buy it. It's always like a sample. It's always like this random sample. Like, hey, we think you'll like this. Go ahead and try it on us. It's like, I don't like you. Well, little did I know, all I needed to do was cold steep it. This was so freaking good. Like, I get it now. I get why Adagio Tea was trying to press their white blueberry on me. I definitely think I'm gonna order some of their white blueberry tea probably like next spring, next summer, like on purpose. Like I'm gonna order it on purpose. So yeah. Also, sorry about my voice. I feel like it's kind of going in and out right now and I keep having to clear my throat. My nose is kind of like gross and stuffy. I came down with a little cold, so I might be a little hoarse. Okay, and so then the last two teas that I have, I threw away the bag because I wasn't paying attention, so I just have them written down here on this sheet of paper. I finished up Adagio Tea's Reindeer Fuel, and that was like a mate blend with chocolate and mint flavors, and with a little bit of sugar. It tasted just like mint chocolate chip ice cream. Like, it was amazing. And then the other tea, the last tea, which I did not like at all, also came from the DAVIDsTEA cocktail collection, and it is their lemon smash tea. I mean, it was bitter, it was not palatable, it was very, 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 very like herbaceous. It was one of those teas where I took one sip and I had to dump it out. And it's really misleading because when you smell the bag of tea, it smells like lemon heads. It's really sweet and really lemony, and I thought I was gonna love it, but it just brewed up into something completely different. It was just very, very, very bitter. So yeah, I had to dump the tea. I didn't even finish the bag. It just went straight into the garbage. So yeah, that's what I drank this month. It was 13 different teas. Most of them really awesome with the exception of the lemon smash tea and I guess the wild strawberry iced tea. Everything else is really great though. Now that September is behind us, let me know what some of your favorite September sips were. Mine definitely were the Silent Sonata from Adagio Teas, as well as the white blueberry from Adagio Teas. Also that strawberry Spritz iced tea from Teebox Tea. That one was just really interesting. So yeah. Oh, wait. Also the Davidson's organic spiced Ribose chai. I had a lot of them, I guess. I had a lot of really good teas in September. So yeah. Let me know what some of your favorites were in the comment boxes below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And you know what? I guess that's it. So I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.